ATL has been through a big change in its the senior management team, and we have 4 new post holders in a team of 6, and so I felt it was important that we had some external help in establishing the team, just really ensuring that this big change was managed effectively, but more important than anything else, that we could get the team to understand what it was to work as an effective team, how to accommodate different personalities and different ways of working, and how in the end to make most use of our time most productively in team meetings. Our very clear focus is on how do we get this top team to perform in a top way, understanding how the different personalities within the team like to work, and having a really careful look at what's working well and what we could do better as a team in order to fulfil what are really very significant responsibilities in key areas of the association's work. So who are we, how do we work, but how do we understand how other people work, different characters, accepting difference and working out how we can work together. I think it's quite interesting really in meetings now. There is, when somebody reacts in a particular way, we say, no, you're just being too expressive, or no, you're being too analytical, and actually I do think it's got the clear articulation that we are different characters, we work in different ways, we require different types of information, we'll be convinced by different arguments, has, I think, got a much more open exchange. I also think it's brought out the dynamics that the team is evenly split between male and female, and it allows us to bring out those dynamics as well, and ensure that the female members of the team are properly listened to. I mean, I am properly listened to because I am who I am, and I'm the General Secretary. That's not necessarily the case even at the top level with my female colleagues, and it's given us a vocabulary to enable us to do that without offending the male colleagues. It's allowed us to be more analytical about who's in the team, it's given us a vocabulary to understand that, it's allowed us to think more coherently about how we run team meetings, how we agenda those meetings, what we think are good outcomes, how discursive we should be, how we should perhaps stop rushing to a conclusion but consider the evidence more fully, how we link our work as a General Secretariat in with the senior management team, which is the next layer of management down in the organisation, how we get feedback about our progress and the progress of the association. It's about being better. The thing I think is most difficult for any organisation is internal communication. I think that's the most difficult thing. You work very hard at external communication with your members and with the government and with business and with the political stakeholders. You work very hard to make sure your members know what you're doing and that you've got a place in the policy debate. But what can be much more difficult is ensuring that your colleagues know what you're doing. And I have a particular mindset which is it's obvious. And I have to be reminded that it's not obvious just because it's obvious to me. Doesn't mean it's obvious to everyone else, and the time and the effort you have to put into explanations and making things clear and getting feedback and accepting where people are whilst being clear that we have to move forward is considerable, and part of the work with InterCHANGE is really reminding me of all of that.